Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. So yeah, bro. Like we just been watching like football, you know, at home. We like before we link up, we watch football and all them things like playing FIFA. Like you,
It's been a while.
I know you're still smashing what Marvin. I see you're posting on that everything.
It's been a while since I played that guy, man. But I remember watching I think we watched Arsenal Man United. That was one of the last games I remember watching at Man's Yard. How long ago was that now?
What? Oh, do you mean the one where Emery was still in charge?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I think we watched one game after that, but then afterwards, man came to mine and we watched that Champions League.
Yeah.
That was
we watched like Dortmund against PSG. That was like February.
Yeah.
February 2020. Yeah.
It's been a whole year since then. It's crazy, man.
Could be.
Yeah, man. Link up due soon, though. Link up in person.
Yeah.
Soon,
100, man.
Sure, man. Sure.
We'll figure out where to go. Bournemouth's on the cost for one. I know you want to go somewhere first, but we got to return there, man.
Yeah, I'll definitely go to Bournemouth, man.
There, anyway.
June 21.
What's that?
I said June 21. That's when we're all free, innit?
Yeah. It would be 21, though. It would be 21. Yeah, so obviously I got to introduce you guys, and it's obviously like here's Judah and Sam as a guest for today. Obviously, we had to get this going because obviously it was serious. Because obviously, Sam, you were supposed to be popping him at the end saying, "Record this immediately." I was
Nah, it's not even like that, man.
No, not like that. No, not like that.
This guy, yeah, he hit me up in 2020, man, and 2021 is when you hit me up to record the podcast. I was ready, fam.
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna get you on, man. I'm gonna get you on.
Of course. But it's just like obviously. So other media channels have been talking about this. We've actually waited until after events have developed. So
yeah. So, nah, it makes sense. But I'm playing, bro. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, man.
But the analyst with us as well. So
yeah.
Who's the analyst, bro?
You, man.
I'm just a football fan. I
I don't want to bait you out too much in that, but
I retired in 2019, man.
What up? You know how to edit this out.
Yeah, I recorded in 2019, man. Anyways, bro, guys, just tell me. Let's talk, man. What's happening, man?
Where did we start, bro? Where did we start? Should we start back in 2000? We could start back in 2003 with Roman Abramovich. Because you think about it, this is where this greed started from. You could even go further back than that, through 1992, when they changed the whole football league format into the Premier League. You know what I'm saying? So obviously they was doing similar dealings almost 30 years ago in terms of like being sneaking behind the scenes stuff. Obviously with this whole European Super League, it's a different format, but yeah, man, what's your lot's take on it anyway, man? Because this is a joke, man.
I mean, there's so many levels to it, like, because the thing for me is, did they not realize that there was going to be this backlash? How could you not realize? Because they're trying to change the game, not just change the competition. Because there's a change in competition, like changing to the Premier League, which obviously had finance, like Sky making like pay-per-view and all that kind of thing. But they've literally tried to change the ethos of competition. Like, top teams just get there just because they're top teams. So, I mean, how would they not face this backlash? So for me, that's the most surprising thing.
Yeah, I think they were actually expecting backlash. And I feel like they weren't expecting teams to back out as quickly as they did. Like, I think it was a surprise for City because, they literally built their history how many years ago? Like, just that. And all of a sudden, like, they're the first team to talk about backing out. And then Chelsea as well. No offense on that to any Chelsea fans, but you know what I mean? Roman Abramovich era, and you're a big club all of a sudden. So I was quite surprised that those two teams were the first ones that were coming out. And I think they were expecting backlash, but they weren't expecting that because apparently they were talking about what contract signed. Perez saying no one can leave. And then what?
I wasn't actually surprised them two backed up because when this first thing came around, but it broke on Sunday. Well, we'll go into how it broke. It broke on Sunday around 1 p.m. I didn't even know. I was watching at 2 o'clock. It was Arsenal and Fulham. I was watching that match, and then I was watching United and we played Burnley. And then I wasn't paying attention to the commentary, and Gary Neville was like, "It should be deducted 6 points." But I'm like, "What's he talking about?" And then it was half time. It was half time. He's gone his little rant and all that. He was talking about the Super. I was like, I thought they deaded this off like months back. And then obviously a whole shitstorms happened. Then, but like back to what you were saying, I wasn't surprised when City and Chelsea back because they don't even need it.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing's based off money.
100.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you look at it's true what Gary Neville says. When you see Joe Glazer's name on something, that means something because he don't put his name to anything. Yeah. But Joe Glaze, this guy don't know nothing about football, nothing at all, man. And bro, there's so much I want to say. I don't know how to like put it out, man. It's just it's actually.
So obviously, like it's obviously caused a big backlash, and rightly so. What with these owners, especially like the American ones, because obviously you notice how they were the last ones to back out, even though everyone backed out together. They were the last ones to be named to back out, and obviously Joe Henry's like saying to the Liverpool supporters are very sorry and everything. But that's like what I'm saying before. It's like everything we thought, they just confirmed it, innit? It's like also their interest is in America. And like all these sports clubs that they own in the UK, that's like collateral damage insurance. So it's like when something goes wrong, we've got this here in it. So it was just about money the whole time, really. They don't really care about football in it. So it's like, is football really for the fans? I don't think so.
The game's dead. The game's been dead, man. The game has been dead for a while, man. Even this whole VAR, no fans in the stadium, lack of personalities in the game. Even the qualities in these players, man. Back in the day, in the early 2000s, you had Bergkamps, Henry's, the Dan and all that. Like Ronaldo, Messi, their better days are behind them now. So you got Haaland and Mbappe, but the whole game's just dead. But this is just like sucked the life out of competition. Because you're saying that they want it to make into like a, you know, watch NBA.
Yeah.
Nah, but I know the like, basic structure.
The formats.
But no, I don't even know that much about it. But obviously, there's no relegation, there's no promotion. They're franchise out there, innit? So obviously, they're trying to make it that format enough. You can't do that with football. Football's one of the most purest sports in the world, man. It's loved by people globally, man. It's the most sport in the world. So
yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I think what you said about like no fans in the stadium is interesting as well. Because the timing, if you think about it, if there's fans in the stadium and they try to make this kind of action,
they riot.
Exactly. And they know it's gonna happen.
Their timing was mad.
They were planning it, definitely.
Yeah. I feel like that's a big part of it. Because if you think about if you trace it back a bit as well, you remember Project Big Picture?
Yeah. That was up to last 6 months ago, 6-7 months ago.
Something like that, yeah. Was it like towards the back end of last year, like 2020?
Probably over a year, about a year. Yeah.
So again, that's during the pandemic period, no fans in the stadium. They know they can make these little power plays and do these kind of things because they know, okay, fans are going to be resistant, but they can't really voice it. They can't be there in person. That's what they thought. But fans can. And just out there in the stadium, and people are putting banners outside the stadium, ranting, taking their owners out, and all these kind of things. And I think they didn't really anticipate that.
I said they're using lockdown, as a way of thinking, you know what, you can't do anything about your lockdown, or you're just coming out of lockdown, so you'll be in your doors, so we could just do whatever we want now. They thought wrong, man.
100%.
Only 6 games left in the season, and I thought it was so weird. Obviously, what they done is they dropped that. I think they leaked it to the Telegraph or the press or whatever. A day before the UEFA was going to announce a new Champions League format. What they've done is it's basically saying to that, but it's the big boys club. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, let people know. Obviously, we're recording this on a Wednesday now, on the 21st. So, do you know what I'm saying? And I know 48 hours later, the fans have had their voices heard and all that in it. So, it's a shit storm, man.
What did you man see of like the Champions League format, the new one? What did you think?
Is that even happening still?
Yeah, it's confirmed.
Yeah, they pushed it through already.
It's there.
But then is
it a league? It's not a group. It's a league, innit? And then 8 teams get promoted or something to the playoffs or some shit.
I think you play like I think as opposed to twice, you play each team like 4 times or something like that. I read.
Yeah,
I think
it's gonna be 36 teams in total, isn't it?
Yeah, 36 teams.
Yeah.
How much is currently then?
32.
32.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
8 groups of 4. Yeah. So they're adding a couple extra slots, which again, this is the thing. Like they're partly adding extra slots so that elite teams who usually wouldn't qualify will still be there.
You see,
Yeah,
So they've basically put an idea in, which is like coefficient.
definitely.
So
Yeah.
if you've performed well in European competition before, but don't qualify the next season, you'll be there again because of
100.
your competition. And if you
Yeah.
think about it, it's like you said, it's similar to the Super League, but a softer version.
Yeah,
But they know, again, this same
Yeah.
UEFA format is going to get backlash as well. So I'm not saying intentionally,
True.
like, no, but
no, definitely.
the Super League thing comes out and it's like, okay, this is an even bigger evil. Everyone focuses on
Yeah,
that.
this is exactly what I was going to say.
Background.
Yeah, in the background, man, they're pushing this, man. So
Hold
when you
on.
see it, you're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
But
Okay,
I'll
I
take
need
that.
to go to the Super League.
That means that's basically like saying basically the whole principles of this Super League that was meant to happen is unofficially happening with an official Champions League. They're moving the same traits that was going to be done, but here, so it's like, but everyone will be cool with that. Well, not people not be cool with it, but it's like, oh, but it's still the Champions League though, and clubs will still get their money. So they're like, it's calm now.
Yeah, they're edging it in slowly regardless because they're changing the format already. Like if they really wanted to make it purely like Super League, quote unquote, yeah, and the league, they would take way more teams out as opposed to add more teams in, because then you would only have the elite like qualifying and stuff like that, as opposed to just based on merit like Arsenal and the Super League. But they know that adding more teams, you know what I mean? Arsenal, we're going to finish 10th to 12th. We have a chance all of a sudden. Milan, all these, you know what I mean? Like, that's just how it is. It's all about money, man. They're looking at the good guys, but they're not.
That means it's still not merit then. So that means it's like, okay, so yeah, bro, it's still not merit. So we're still not earning it properly, even if we're going to qualify. It's still not earned properly then, because we're just going to keep changing the goalposts. We're like, you know what? Last season, let's just say, for example, it's 6 teams. The next season's going to be 10. What's to stop it from adding more the next season and adding more?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That's the thing that they've pushed a small part of it through, which is basically that top teams will still qualify. At least some top teams will still qualify, even if they didn't usually qualify. And like you say, like in the following years, there's nothing to stop them from pushing more through, unless obviously they face similar resistance to what they faced with the Super League. And I think that's the important thing with this whole thing. Like, it looks like to everyone it's broken down and it's stopped, and it's a great signal for the fans and their voice and all these kind of things. I think that's definitely partly the case, but I still feel like there's also UEFA succumbing to their demands. Like, okay, so I want elite teams to qualify, and supposedly UEFA like having more money in reserve to share with the clubs as well.
Definitely.
So is it just money winning again?
It has to be, man, because I'm, bro. So it's like, that's what I was saying. I was saying to myself, okay, hold on. We still need to have this conversation, because I'm like, something's still fishy here, because it's like, okay, cool. Think about it. Does it make sense that all of a sudden they're like, do you know what, guys? You're crying too much. Let's just leave it as it is. No way. Do you know how much money they were thinking we're going to have this amount of millions and millions and millions, and all of a sudden it's like, are we just going to drop it because fans crying? No, man, there's going to be a way that we're still going to get our money, but we're going to do it in a way where it's like the fans will not think that we're doing anything mad at the same time. It's on a sly thing.
Yeah.
Who's giving up hundreds of millions just like that, just because someone's crying about it?
Exactly, man.
And
man are crooks, man, honestly.
I mean, I was saying at the same time, right? So the same fans who are making a backlash about their club's decisions and things, who supposedly made them go back on this decision, are the same fans that didn't care about when they're trying to push the decision through in the first place. You know what I mean? Because if you're making a Super League where you know that one of the things that might happen is you have to quit the English league, so all your games will be abroad. And for me, I think one of the things which would have followed is you make the game more appealing for fans in America in particular. So it's tapping into the American fan base. It's tapping into probably a bit Middle Eastern fan base, maybe African fan base, and definitely Asian fan base as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And one of the promises would be we can bring live matches to you. They will start taking those Super League games all across the globe. So obviously they don't care about the local fans. So the same local fans now rebelling has supposedly made them change their decision. Not sure about that.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I thought about as well. I thought one of the reasons I thought it was basically going to be done, like, because I thought they can just take it to Singapore. Do you know how crazy the crowds in Singapore are going to be? Like all over the place. They're not going to think, the value and integrity of my club is now done. Like, they're not going to care. They want to watch football. They probably never watched a live game, some of them. And so they're going to be excited to watch Real Madrid versus Barcelona 3 times or whatever.
Yeah.
They're going to be excited. So I don't think it's necessarily, I don't know if it's as simple as the fans. If we unite, we can do anything, can it? Like, you know what I mean? There's always something behind the surface and no conspiracies, but like, it's just very like funny how the Champions League is a very soft version of the Super League.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
do you reckon, like, because obviously I don't think this is the last message we're going to hear. Do you think that UK football clubs should follow the German model where it's like a 50% kind of stake from the fans to stop them from doing this kind of stunts, whatever? Because with Germany, as we've seen it, they're not trying that with like Bayern or Dortmund. They can't anyway.
That's the perfect scenario, man. But I just can't see that happening in the UK. I'd love it to happen, but because, like you said, the Germans, Dortmund and Bayern, it's 50 plus 1% share that the fans have in it, stake in the club. I just can't see that happening in the UK, man. But apparently, the government are interfering with this whole situation anyway.
Yeah.
But going forward, I mean, you look at our club. We're run by the Americans, yeah? You look at Liverpool, they're run by Americans. Arsenal's who? Stan Kroenke, innit?
Yeah, American.
Yeah.
Out of them 3 clubs, who do you think's most likely to sell right now?
That's a question, man.
That is a question.
I don't think any of them.
I'll probably Arsenal. If I'm honest, I'll probably Arsenal. You wouldn't think so,
Arsenal were the least likely to sell, man, because we are the worst. Bearing in mind, we're the worst out of the 3. If Kroenke made sense and like if it was all about money and stuff like that, he would have sold Arsenal because our value has gone down each and every season. Yeah. We're currently what, 11th, 12th?
Yeah,
we're not a good football team. Like, he would have sold us time ago. Liverpool and Man United, you know what I mean? Even though Man United not doing the best right now, you're having a good season. So why would he sell? Liverpool just Champions League, Premier League, Arsenal final of the Europa League a couple of years ago.
I'm saying with Kroenke, now is probably the best time to sell because, like I said, your club's going to keep devaluing in the near future.
Oh, definitely. But I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know his intentions, to be honest with you, man. Like, because the profit doesn't make any sense, really, because he's always losing money, but he won't sell because he's going to have something out of it. You know what I mean? That's like chicken change with him, man.
Yeah.
It's true as well, because Arsenal, I always talk about this with Arsenal, like early 2000s, we're still winning titles. Late 2000s, challenging for titles. Early 2010s, top 4 consistently. Late 2010s, Europa League. And now it's like not even Europa League. So it just keeps going down. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't really see a change in the investment in the team. So
of what you just said right now, how are they ever even considered for the Super League? Based on what you just said right now.
No,
that's the thing.
That's how you know he's a. That's how you know he's a crook.
No, let me tell you the
because
biggest crook.
He was waiting.
Let me tell you the biggest crook is Daniel Levy. How would Tottenham? What have they done in recent years for them to be considered a super club, man? Honestly. Tottenham Hotspur, Daniel Levy, man, pulling mad strings, man, because...
definitely. He probably made the right move for them to, like, in terms of financial aspect in that. Like, you know, when you're a club like Tottenham, in it, not a very big club in that, you know what I mean? That's normally what happens. Like, I would expect him to make that investment in that. I was just surprised because we don't really deserve to be in the bracket of those clubs, like, at all. Arsenal or Tottenham, especially Tottenham. But
that's the thing I'm going to say as well, is like, so obviously, with the Super League, they're talking about all these teams, but Ajax is not in the mix. How can Ajax not be in the two? The thing is bad anyway, but how can Ajax not be proposed, but then Tottenham can be? Do you know what I mean? It's like you're just choosing choosing teams based on, oh, I like the name of that team, I don't like the name of that team. You can come, you can't. It's like, well, And do you know what's worse for me as well? The fact that it's 6 teams from the UK and only 3 from Spain and 3 from Italy. It's like the thing's unbalanced anyway.
Only 3. They call it European Super League. It's only 3 nations.
Real talk. I think also they care a lot about the TV money that the UK gets, and
yeah,
like because we get a lot from our big 6, and that's why it's different. So like, who's trying to watch like I like watching teams like Real Betis and stuff like that, but it's not popping over there. Do you know what I mean? But like a lot of viewership will go to the big 6 in England, doesn't it? Even though they're not really in the top 6 like that.
Yeah, that's exactly why Tottenham's there, and that's why Arsenal are there as well. Because the reason they want to make the Super League is because it's basically, I think it's being pushed mostly by Barcelona and Real Madrid, who they know that they're some of the biggest clubs in the world, but because of their league, they don't quite get the viewership that English clubs get. And obviously viewers money, right? So they think, okay, let's bring those English clubs away, and if we're going to bring them, let's bring all of them because they all bring a lot of money and a lot of fans and all that kind of thing, and bring them all together, and then we can make a Super League where we enjoy about as much money as they do. Because they know, despite winning way more than Tottenham and being much better than Tottenham, they won't quite make as much money.
Exactly, which is crazy. I think also that's why it kind of surprised me about Bayern as well. I thought they would, because I remember seeing something a couple of years ago, like some proper average team getting as much money as Bayern did. Like through their league. Do you remember seeing something like that? Yeah. So I thought they would have been on it first. What'd you say?
I think it was a team that got relegated.
Yeah, I think so. Something like that. I think it might be Norwich.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I think so. But they got as much money as Bayern did that year. And Bayern obviously won the league, go deep in the Champions League, probably won the cup as well. So I was surprised they didn't want to go in it. Yeah. But obviously they have their model and stuff like that. And they rob every, Bundesliga team. So.
Their fans would have prevented them from doing it through there.
Yeah, that's true.
If this actually came about, obviously me being as an Arsenal fan personally, I do not think I could look at Arsenal the same again. I'll still like say, oh yeah, I watched them, blah blah. I want to watch the boys. Like, how can I actually support? What am I actually really supporting? Because at the end of the day, it's for the fans. Well, what are we actually supporting really? Like, what's the point of even getting upset for what? You're not going to get relegated anyway, and like, do you know what I mean? There is no competition. Like even Pep said, like for example, how can the sport without it? It's not a game, innit? In his own quotes. But the reason why I'm talking about this as well, because I'm concerned going forward for fans, and that's why I suggested. I think that's the thing, because it's in ownership of people in the UK, like for example, American owners, Man City's owners, etc., and obviously Roman Abramovich. I just don't think it's the last kind of craziness that we're going to hear about something like this, isn't it? So I just feel like going forward, we should have to do this thing where at least around 0.5% has to be owned by fans, because otherwise we're not protected. We're just protected for today, and then even then there could be something tomorrow.
Yeah, 100%.
Like the funny thing about the Super League thing is, like it came so quickly, but you've been talking about it forever, basically. But someone showed me a clip of Wenger saying this in the 90s. That long ago. You saw that clip,
like 20 years ago. I think it was first discussed in like 98 or something.
Yeah. He was talking about how him and Alex Ferguson are on board and stuff like that, and more clubs need to get like from back then, innit?
Well, I saw the Daily Telegraph the other day said that he's talking about in like 09, and I thought, that was a long time ago.
He spoke about it a couple times though. But go. I'll link it to you afterwards, innit? Like him in like 95, man, something like that, or 98. I thought like, what? So these criminals, they know it was coming for a while, man. They did, honestly, because we didn't even have the same ownership back then as well.
No, we
you know what I mean? So.
Thing is, where does it stop them, man? Because they come up with this now, European stuff. What about, say if it did go through, 10, 15 years time, they're gonna get bored. What are they gonna do? Like a world Super League. Let's get every team. David Beckham's Inter Miami, LA Galaxy. We throw them in the mix.
Because they said that you can be invited to the league, so they're gonna grow whatever teams they need to grow in different countries, and I think they're gonna add them.
100%,
they might do men versus women soon, because they're just bored, man. It's just monopoly money at this point. You get what I'm saying?
Do you know what? To be fair though, you make a good point in it, because it's like all they needed to do is like, so the Super League will be new, and it's like whatever team from each country has the most value in terms of money, we'll just keep adding those teams in it. So we'll get the most valuable teams in the US, the Middle East, Qatar, they got money in it. Just add all these teams. China, look at the Chinese paying stupid wages to play. Add them to the league, so it become like a world Super League, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's how dangerous I think it could be.
For me, that's literally, if you look at what they're doing in what their plan was with the Super League, I think that's literally just the next step. Like, to start adding the best or most famous teams from other continents.
100%. Yeah. Because they showed by adding Arsenal and Tottenham, like it doesn't actually matter how well you're doing. You know what I mean? The moment they get in big investment in another country, whatever, they're gonna throw that team into the league as well.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So obviously you're gonna price out. That's another thing. So that's why I said it for the fan, because we're gonna price out like obviously the average fan. It's a working class sport in the day, and it's gonna only be people like, you know, them chief executives, not even football, just normal businesses. You know what I mean? Corporations only go to the games. Tourists, we get tourists as it is anyway. And at the end of the day, football doesn't need to have fans anymore. It just needs all it needs, because there's no fans in the stadium anyway. They'll find a way to be making the money. So it's just
they don't look at you as fans. They don't think, oh, what can we do for the fans? They think, what can we do to maximize our profits? They look at you as customers. What can we do for customers? What are the customers like? Are the customers like this? We're not fans, man. We're customers. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what people got to understand. So,
you know what? Yeah, I showed Juju the because I saw it with Callum first. I showed you the video. I don't know if you saw it, Sam, but that's one of the top 6 clubs said our priority is to maximize profit. That was bare disturbing, isn't it? You saw that, innit? It was disturbing, innit? Maximize. Maximize profits. They had a plan. They had plans to like weaken teams in like, was it for midweek or the weekend or something? If they had to play 2 things, that's a weaken team. They're secretly happy that if they can miss international football or something like that. And I was like, oh, they really are trying to do the game. And I want to know who said it.
Yeah. It's probably Glazer, bro. It's probably Glazer.
I think it was an American owner that said it. I think it was one.
It was Glazer, bro. 100%. That was hot. Them leeches, bro. Honestly.
All right.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't be Man City's owners or Chelsea's owners.
No.
I say that because you can see the way they invest in their team. That
they're good owners.
Exactly. To an extent of it, but they actually care about winning. They care about sporting success. With the other ones, if you look at their investment, you can kind of see if they say our aim is to maximize revenue, then actually that makes sense. So,
maybe Daniel Levy probably said something like that.
Could be, but do you know why I wouldn't even guess him? I'd say because what they did with their stadium recently. Like if you look at Old Trafford on the other hand, what they're doing with the stadium there? I think Gary Neville spoke about that the other day. Like, the stadium is like so old and they haven't really renovated. They haven't spent money on it. So Tottenham at least made that investment, you know.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. So probably Glazers, John W. Henry, or Kroenke.
I hate hearing that guy's name, man. Dan, bro.
But do you know one thing else that's interesting for me? You just talked about like players being banned from their country for playing international football.
Yeah.
Hasn't it been interesting to look at the lengths that UEFA, the government, and all these organizations are willing to go to stop something which will hurt their pocket? But with which they claim, you all know what I'm about to go.
Yeah,
they treated it so seriously, man. It was crazy.
Do you know what I mean? And someone will say, oh yeah, well, you know, with racism, maybe it's just one player who does it and the other people are not at fault. All right, cool. But do you think that it was Jordan Henderson and Aubameyang who decided to sign up for the Super League? Of course it wasn't. But they'll still ban them from their countries.
100%.
So it just shows like, look, the idea is let's make a sanction which is so hard that everyone will push to stop it so that it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Do the same thing with racism and let's see what happens.
Listen, I can never be surprised by racism when it comes to football, man, because I fully saw Suarez call Evra the N-word however many times. Liverpool came out in t-shirts supporting him like he'd gone through an illness. That's what they were doing. They went out and supported him wearing t-shirts. We're with you, Suarez. What? And when it come out that he was being racist, because they have proof, they recorded the game live, what happened after that? He got a match ban, however many games. Liverpool, the club, didn't take any accountability. Like, nothing happens. They don't take it seriously enough, innit? It's just like, he was racist, but like, nothing too harsh on him. Like, do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, he is right. Like, that's how it feels, isn't it?
There was a guy in Slavia Prague the other day that was getting banned for like 10 games. You see what I'm trying to say, bro? Like,
yeah, and the guy that retaliated, Glenn, you know what I mean? He got banned as well for retaliating to racism.
That's what I heard. Someone got banned for being racially abused. I was like, how does that even make any sense?
Yeah.
It's Kamara.
Yeah, Kamara, innit?
It's mad. It's mad.
It doesn't. It's not. It don't align with the. They don't. Bro, Javen, how many times have you spoken about this?
Of course, bro. It's like, but the thing is, though, you see racism. There's no money involved.
Yeah, there's no money.
Of course, that's why. If anything, it hurts their pocket because they have to take out players. Like, for example, when they're not playing Suarez, or when it happened to the England captain John Terry and stuff like that. They don't want that for them. You can tell that.
Yeah.
Like, especially the clubs, like they don't want to not see their best player play. Do you know what I mean? So
it was scenes where yesterday with deep, bro. You see, Peter Cech was involved in the protest as well.
I saw like a couple second clip.
Yeah.
Let's touch on that though. Let's touch on that actually, because I really thought it was actually going to go through. I was like, this has been lock and loaded. They've had their contracts and all that. They've been having secret. I mean, that's what pisses me off to the max. Yeah. So the start of the season, obviously I'm a United fan. It didn't matter if we finish in the top 4 or not, because we're gonna go to this European Super League anyway. Yeah. So when this got announced on Sunday, I was absolutely livid in it, and I'm like, this is gonna go. This is the end of football. You know, everyone was posting RIP football, man. Everyone thought like this is the end of football, and then obviously the next day everyone's coming out. Monday Night Football, Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher, Rio Ferdinand, Bible 5 and all that, and then Tuesday happens. All the clubs come out and say, yeah, we'll leave in the European Super League. So it's like, you can see the fans do actually have a voice. Do you know what I'm saying? We actually can achieve something if we unify together. Do you know what I'm saying?
To an extent, I agree with you. To an extent, definitely. I do also feel like, I don't know how to phrase it exactly, but like, I just think it's a big coincidence, the timing of the Champions League, saying that they're gonna format it like this. Then all of a sudden you have what's it called, the Joker and Lex Luthor, all of these villains coming up, and then you know what I mean, saying that we're gonna do this and that. You know what I mean? UEFA has their own plans in the back, acting like they're the good guys, isn't it? Because you remember how even with Sky, do you remember how they were doing, like, you would see box office games?
Yeah, like his boxing.
When they tried that, they tried that. You were seeing like Burnley v Palace, and you had to pay how much money for it. I couldn't believe it. That's when I realized they're all against us, man.
Bro, they're all crooks, bro. What it is like the Super League with the biggest crooks, man. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like they're on them moral high ground saying, no, that's wrong. They're like, oh yeah, we done wrong, but they're doing even more. Look at them.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro, you know what reminds me of the 2016 elections, like Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Bro, they're both just as bad, man. One's a necessary evil, one's just pure evil.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
2020, Biden and Trump.
Definitely.
Yeah, exactly. Biden or Trump. Because like with UEFA, you want to go with them because they're the bad, you know, innit? They're the devil, you know.
That's it.
Exactly. That's the difference, man. Because even we used to watch Champions League and all of that for free on ITV. I feel like that's when I enjoyed Champions League the most, innit?
Oh, you know, man.
But now, like, you're always watching it on BT Sport and stuff like that. Like, charging however much, it's mad.
These days, I can't even watch football anymore unless I'm doing like the My Goal TV. I don't even know if I should be saying this on here, innit? My Goal TV. You know what's there? Or it's showed on BBC.
It's about to get shut down,
Sport Tech.
Because that's what I'm saying. It's like it first used to be both legs was on ITV back in the day. Then it was one leg on ITV, one was on Sky Sports. Then it was completely on BT Sport.
Yeah, they moved everything.
And then even FA Cup games were moving to like.
Yeah, they moved the FA Cup, fam.
Like, what are you doing, man?
BT, they put the final one for free in it on YouTube, innit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, man. But like,
There's
I was
only
like-
two. There's only 2 teams in the final. Well, like, do you know what I
we
mean?
say we missed like the whole competition, man. It's so funny, man. Doesn't
And
matter what dead team you're facing.
Yeah. And for me, do you know why it's so interesting? Because these same people, like, look, for me, on one level, so Ferdinand, Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher, I think they are football fans, they're football people.
Oh, 100, yeah.
On the genuine level, they are passionate about stopping the Super League and all that stuff.
Mhm.
On the other hand, the people who are giving them the platform, BT Sports, Sky Sports, are they allowing them to talk about it so aggressively and so negatively because they haven't got the rights to show it?
100.
You know what I mean?
They went and signed a deal with somebody else. They didn't sign a deal with Sky BT. So they're acting like it's the most evil thing they've ever heard of.
Mm.
You know what I mean? When we're watching FA Cup games, it could be Arsenal versus Crawley Town. I can't watch that on ITV. I have to go and pay for BT Sport.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? They made, like, I know it's bad because we're football fans here, but think about how deep it was. It was like we're actually starting a world war.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Every person was attacking it.
Mm.
Like, it was so deep. Winston Churchill's Gary Neville. That's how it felt. You know what I mean? He was pushing it forward. Like, everything was so deep. Like, everyone was depressed for 2 days. All these passionate rants.
Mm.
But you know what I mean? They're doing it. Yeah, of course they're football fans, but like at the same time, it's because they're not getting money from it.
That's what I mean.
Everything's about money, man.
That's what the question was. It's like, oh, like, how do you know that these pundits might not lose their job or they get a serious pay cut? Like, Ferdinand's gonna, if you ain't got all these games to show, that's revenue. All right, so where you got 3 million a year for talking rubbish, you only get 1.5 million for talking rubbish. You know the ones there. So that's.
Do you reckon if they got an offer to go to the Super League, they would?
Bro,
I don't believe in this purist aspect they're going for. They get offered more money to go to the Super League and commentate. They're doing it, man.
Lineker would 100%.
It's funny because he's the one that tweeted that he wouldn't.
Lineker.
I don't know, man. I find it hard to believe, man, because I felt like they would have just got used to it.
Yeah.
That's another thing as well. That's another thing. If it did go through, all these men have come out and said they're not going to do it. And then who's going to do the commentary? Who's going to do the punditry? It's probably going to be Americanized. Do you get what I'm saying?
You know what? Yeah,
I hear that.
It's one of them ones where it's like they get offered a secret contract, innit? Like from the Super League, they say it was going to happen, innit? And it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna put my name down for the job, innit? Let me see who goes first from the UK, innit? And once they're there, then I'll be like
100.
Because if they get backlash, imagine Gary Neville takes a contract, bro. He's getting cooked, bro.
Oh, definitely, man. It'll be someone that got exiled, like what? Didn't ever get fired or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, Evra will just go there, man.
Wait, was Evra actually fired? I think he was saying something about David Moyes' daughter. Anyway. Oh, Zaha and all that thing.
Yeah, Zaha. I'm provoked, man. I'm provoked in bringing that up, man.
That's the thing. If he's fired, yeah, but Carragher still got a job for spitting on youth, bro, in the car. Like, I don't make no sense.
Oh yeah, that's true, isn't it? You know the levels there, man.
Everyone was too funny on Sky Sports.
Yeah, he would.
I can't believe he even said that. I was thinking,
do you know what it is?
Why?
You know what it is? I know that like, all these French people, they just speak, innit? Like they just speak what they want. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't even know if the guy realizes what he's actually saying.
Bro. Everyone's a different breed, though, man. He is a different breed, bro. Like, man, we'll talk about watching. Didn't he say something about with Ronaldo at his house or something like that? Do you remember what I'm talking about? And he was saying something like, "Oh, days." I don't even remember what it was.
No, that was Henri. That was Henri. And
was it they're playing ping pong or something?
Oh, I think something like that. But he was at Ronaldo's house, wasn't it? I know you're talking about with Henri.
Yeah. Everyone will just be there baiting people out, baby.
Bro, he's too funny, man.
Secrets, like private conversations on Sky Sports.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Bro, the one that made me laugh the most, I don't know if you guys remember. After Man United lost 6-1 to Tottenham, Old Trafford, everyone was like, "Oh, some of these players, they need a good slap, right?"
That one.
The way he said it, bro.
Yeah, that one killed me, man.
I don't promote violence, but
bro, he was dead in the face as well.
Violence, but someone needs a slap. The way he said it,
bro, he was dead in the face. He was so serious. I was crying, man.
Nah, that was...
And you know that you got a team in Sky Sports that there's probably someone from behind the camera saying, when someone's going on a tangent, they're like, "Stop talking."
I mean,
he's not listening. He's just gonna keep going.
Keno done the same thing when it was United and Tottenham. So what happened? The Gea done a mistake or something, and then Keno was like, "I'll be swinging punches in the changing room." And that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely, man. But you know what it is? I feel like they allow that though, because they'll be like, "Oh yeah, but you know how he's such a tough guy, man." Do you know what I mean? But then they'll be like, "Evra was out of line. You shouldn't be saying stuff like that, man." You know how it is, man. And I see more for it. So.
Do you reckon, right? Like, forget the top 6 or like the so-called top 6, because Arsenal would be in top 6, even though it's Tottenham at the moment, innit? But do you think if like the lower clubs from the Premier League was offered a chance to go to Super League, do you think they're taking it? Because it's all right, they're saying they're outraged, but if they get offered a chance, are they going?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you man see like how offended these teams were and stuff like Everton, Leicester? I generally feel like if they got the invitation, they would be there as well.
Yeah.
Oh, so get what? How much you get just to compete in a competition?
3 million.
Bro, they would definitely be there. You can tell, man. Like,
million. Because it was being financed by JP Morgan, isn't it?
Yeah, that was about to be a mad deal as well.
And that's Woodward used to work for them, innit?
Yeah,
that's how they brokered the United deal. Where the Glazers bought United through JP Morgan.
The thing is, though, Ollie
probably had this in the works all this time, man.
Ollie, you see, Ollie must be like scared to death of losing his job because we was not going to protect him no more, bro, because it was gone.
Yeah, man. He's walking on eggshells, man.
I don't know. You got to look at it from like an owner's perspective. Yeah. They'll probably be looking at it like we're second.
I'll say that again.
They'll be looking at it like we're second from the owner's perspective.
100%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're behind Man City, but they spent way more money than us and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? They'll be saying their excuses, but they'll be like, we're in good position, like we're above the champions. You know what I mean? Look at Liverpool. They struggled, man, but we're looking strong. Do you know what I mean? Like that's how I think would look at it. Just like when you finished second a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
When you needed to invest in it, but you thought, okay, we're second now. Next season we'll challenge in it, but not real investment.
We bought Fred that season. Fred and
Fred.
Lee
Fred is the fakest Brazilian I've ever seen, man.
He's not Brazilian, bro.
He's not Brazilian, man.
I get mistaken for being Brazilian, but I'm probably more Brazilian. No way.
I was obviously me and Judah, we were discussing this the other day. I was thinking, so obviously we still need to talk. I was saying, what would happen if we was in the Super League? I was thinking, is it over for like especially like the coaches, the top players, because the top coaches, isn't it? Because what's the reason to keep like pay a Guardiola like 20 million plus a year? Mourinho is a crook. He still gets big money even today, innit? Even though he doesn't earn it no more, innit? But 20 million with kind of high salary. You could give some next coach that's not really qualified 1 million a year. It will take it, innit? Because it's like you can save a lot of money on paying these coaches because there's no consequences of them getting relegated anyway. So you're safe regardless.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
What's the point of paying? What's the point in paying for like the best coaches to come up with like the best tactics to beat teams? There's no point. It's a waste of time. We're gonna be there anyway. And what's the I was thinking to myself, because obviously we all probably wanted to make it pro when we were younger. I was thinking, what's the incentive? Who wants to make it pro these days as a pro baller? But what are you playing for? There's nothing to. You don't miss out on nothing because it's going to be destroyed anyway. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like there is no career really. It's just you're just playing to play.
Yeah. But do you think the game's gone like that anyway these days, where you know you're going to be earning 50 bags a week around 18, 19 years old? Do you know what I'm saying? So it's all based on money anyway. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What did you think of Florentino Perez's statement where he said there's a particular part, he said 18 to 24-year-olds are not interested in football anymore? Do you think he's chatting shit there? Or?
Not completely, but most I think there's always been a lot of people who are not interested in football. To be honest, there's always been some guys are not interested in football, and obviously quite a lot of women are not interested in football as well. But it's not really different. I think he's probably like him and the Agnelli guy from Juventus. They're focused on like video games, and they feel like more people are attracted to FIFA and COD and Fortnite and things like that more than football now. And I think there's
partly true though.
Yeah. I think there is a small section because it's like it's more immediate, you know.
Yeah.
You lose one, you can like reload it and play again and all those kind of things. So it's very addictive. But I still feel like it's a small minority.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't think what you're saying wasn't good. I feel like younger fans, I think they got their favorite players. They don't really follow the team, but they got their favorite players. Do you get what I'm saying? So you got players like
I definitely hear you, innit? I feel like that's kind of football though, innit? Because you have some people, for example, Messi and Ronaldo, innit? No matter where Ronaldo and Messi goes, his fanboys, they're gonna be talking about Saeed or whatever if he goes to like some next team. You know, they're always gonna follow all your favorite team. Like my favorite player was Thierry Henry, innit? So then I started following Arsenal. Like I feel like that's a trend that's always been there, type of thing. But I feel like with younger fans, like because they're so used to social media and stuff, I think they probably care just as much, to be honest with you. Maybe even more sometimes, because they fall so into it. They get into these debates on Twitter, you know, hella accounts with like just post, like they're all focused on their favorite footballer type of thing. You know what I mean? Like they've made their whole profile from that.
I mean, there's a different way of supporting football these days with like the teams now. Like you can't always go to like the away games or anything like that. So I think your way of supporting is like, I like me. Obviously, I'm United fan. I've never been to Old Trafford before. People say, "How can you die hard?" I'm a real United fan, but I keep up to date with United every day.
Yeah,
and what United videos counts every day. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think the way of supporting the team is I don't think it's people are not interested. I think football is, like I said, it's a global sport. Everyone's going to have an interest in football, especially young people. It's the global sport. But I think this is a different way of supporting it these days. I think that's where they got misconstrued. Do you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Because obviously you've got like FIFA, it's got the whole social media thing, whatever. Every player's got their own celebration these days. So it's like, I think if anything,
exactly.
Young people love football these days.
That's what I'm saying, man.
In my opinion, yeah, Perez should be in jail, bro. Yeah, because this guy, the coincidence that he puts himself at the top of the pyramid of this supposed Super League, and then you got Cronky and other people under just under him. You know what I mean? And he's making statements saying, "Oh yeah, but you know, because the games of less quality, so the reason why we have the Super League so that the best always play, so it's higher quality. They always play every single week."
That makes no
sense.
Guy's
a crook, man. He just wants the money for himself, bro. That's why he's number one on the pyramid.
You're the president of Real Madrid, and you're going to put yourself at the president of this.
Yeah.
And Joe Glaze as well. Like I said, don't know nothing about football. How does that make any sense?
Nah, literally. I can't remember what you said, I think it was a while back now, actually. You were saying about, like, why would they want to employ, like, Pep and Klopp and stuff as coaches, yeah? You said something like that, innit? Yeah. I do feel like they would still want to employ those. I don't know if those guys would want to stay there, but I feel like they would want to have coaches that are established there. Because, like, obviously it's not exactly the same as the NBA, but, like, sometimes the coach can be part of the attraction. If that makes any sense. You know what I mean? So you know that Pep is a quality manager and stuff, and people love Pep, and they love Klopp. You know, Klopp's a passion merchant, isn't it? Just running around doing the most, isn't it? That I'm joking in it, but Klopp is always, he's like, people love his energy, isn't it? Like that'll be part of the appeal to Liverpool. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like definitely that's one of the reasons why they'll still have them there. Arteta like, now obviously it's different.
It's like the Chicago Bulls back in the day when they won. Who was the manager of their team?
Phil Jackson.
Jack Jackson. It's the name. It's the face of the team. It was also got Michael there, but it's the mastermind behind it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So you are right. That would tell all that.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, do you know what? It will mess up the rest of football anyway, more than just the top six, because like most of the other teams, like what are they really playing for anyway? Do you know what I mean? Even if they win the Premier League, have you really won the Premier League though? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just
Well, for me, the weird thing is like eventually everyone would get used to it. That's the worst thing. Eventually would. The first couple of years would be crap, and the media would be in such a weird place because none of them want the Super League to happen. But eventually, if that's what everyone becomes interested in, they're gonna have to cover it anyway.
Yeah,
and everyone would just get used to it. So yeah, it's a weird one. Like, as much as I say I wouldn't be interested in watching it, like eventually
I'm gonna watch it.
Of course. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's the thing though. What we watching? What we actually watching? We're just watching just for the sake of just playing football, then just for the sake of just playing a game of football.
Yeah.
There's no actual end objective. It's just to watch a game.
No, I feel you, but you can also win as well. I know there's relegation and stuff, but you can also win in it. Just like in the NBA, you can win, but it goes through a playoff like format, and then I think you have 2 teams in a final or whatever. So those people who are constantly going to the playoff final and stuff like that, those teams and those supporters, they're going to be loving it, because you have like as you said, tourists and stuff like that for Real Madrid, Barcelona, all those teams. They'll be loving it regardless, isn't it? But obviously, I look at it from an Arsenal perspective, isn't it? Like, we're going to be there just because, for vibes. We're not going to actually try and get better. Like, it wouldn't be like, oh, Kroenke is now trying to invest in a club. He's like, I'm making even more money from this. I'm never going to invest.
But that's like cheating. That's like cheating. Then it's like we're cheating though, because it's like you're just
definitely.
You know what I mean? It's like you're just based on name, you're just there in it, or because like you was there from the start, so you're just there forever. Really, there's no new team that can come in. So it's like we got our own separate football world, and the rest of everybody else.
It was killing me because I saw some stuff on Twitter. I don't know if you guys saw it. Like, it only took Arteta 2 years to get back into the Champions League or something like that, man. I was thinking,
oh man,
it's like some video compilation as well of him like pointing out and stuff. It was killing me, man.
Oh, those video compilations.
Yeah, man. Bro, I was actually dying, man.
Oh, right.
So it made me think that a lot of people are gonna enjoy it if it did happen.
So what do you think actually? What do you think is going to happen now? Like, what would you guys say is going to happen? Like, where are we going from here? Then really, because it's not. I don't think it's back to normal. I think people are still pissed off, bro. I'm still annoyed, isn't it? With Arsenal, isn't it? So I don't know. I'm thinking like, what is actually going to happen? Like, it's just going to be Rosie and Dozy again, or is there like, is something else to it, bro? We know
in a week's time, man. In a week's time, man, no one will care, man. No one will care, bro. You know what I'm saying? No one will actually care.
No, I think so as well. I think it would be a good time to review things like how the clubs are owned. So obviously the 50+1 idea is a good. Like, this is a good time to push change through. But I don't think it's going to happen because I think people are just relieved that this idea isn't happening. While at the same time realizing that the UEFA are pushing through something.
They need to keep their foot on the gas pedal, man. Now don't come off now. Keep your foot on the gas pedal, man. Now's the time.
Is it possible for the government to get involved in saying? I don't know how did it come back in Germany with the fans percentage? Was it a government thing said they had to do it, or how did it come up where it was compulsory that fans have a stake in the club?
That's a good question. I don't know. It's probably the Football Association in Germany themselves.
German FA.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Because over there, football never became as commercial as it did over here. So it was always still more of like the football clubs belong to the fans. And for that reason, they were never gonna move away from the fans being like key part of making decisions and things like that.
Definitely.
But here, like, especially since 1992, it's been completely commercialized. They don't care about what the fans think.
Exactly. It's unlikely, like, even with all this momentum that's going on, I don't know whether we can actually change anything. Like, Kroenke getting out of the club, if he was not going to do it when we lost to Chelsea in the final or lost to Atletico, like, I've seen us lose a lot in it, and that has never swayed him. So now I don't think I'm not sure that he ever feels under pressure. Do you know what I mean? Because he's rarely there. Like, he has this, obviously it's a family business for him. Then throws the board under the bus in it. And then obviously the manager's there as well. Like, but I don't think he's actually going to leave.
Don't he own the Rams as well?
Yeah. That's his team.
Yeah, he does. And he owns the Denver Nuggets as well in the NBA.
Yeah.
Guy, man, honestly.
That's what I'm trying to say. His teams are. Arsenal's not his team. Arsenal's his team by possession, but his teams.
But his son wants the club, don't it? Was it Josh?
Well, he's got his son doing business in the club, doing his thing, but he's just looking after it on his behalf. But he sits in America watching the Rams, the ice hockey team, whatever he's got, etc.
Yeah, he's got ice hockey team as well. Yeah.
Whatever you say, he's the other team you said, and all that kind of stuff. And Arsenal's just like. This is what I'm trying to say, like, these American owners used our clubs as like an insurance policy. So if something goes wrong in stateside, I've got this that can cover the potential stuff that's going to happen later on.
Definitely. That's why it's so hard for them to sell. If they were never going to sell it then, when it's losing value, like I don't know why would they would sell it now. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, how long has Kroenke been in charge of Arsenal?
07, isn't it?
Like,
is it 07?
Let me have a look.
Davies has been like 05. That's like 16 years. How long has FSG been on Liverpool?
I think it's shorter than those two, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't think it's been that long.
They're like 2011, I think.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I'm checking up as well.
Yeah, let me just look.
Yeah, 2000. Yeah, it's only like just over a decade.
Do you think, if we're being objective, do you think there should be some repercussions for the top 6 though?
Yes.
You do?
100.
Yes.
Why?
Yeah. But to stop them from trying to think about it again, it needs to be something like that will make them think twice. Because for me, if you just say, "Oh, that's right, guys, you made a mistake," like no problem. What's to stop them from doing it again?
Yeah.
Like
They're gonna take into account where they failed last time.
yeah,
basically.
exactly. So they'll be even stronger. They're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
This time, before we release the details, how can we prepare for the backlash? You know what I mean?
Definitely, man. And like,
Yeah,
I do feel like a lot of empty threats were there as well. Like, I don't believe that they would have banned everybody from international football.
No.
I really don't. I feel like they could have, but like the World Cup and the Euros would be so finished.
Yeah.
Who are you gonna watch as your favorite players? Like, honestly, you know what I mean? You still have Germany, yeah, because of all the teams and stuff there, but like, it would have completely been done basically. Obviously, Mbappe, Neymar, I guess as well. But like, you would have killed the World Cup.
That's true.
That's like the biggest, apart from the Olympics, that's like the biggest sporting competition in the world as well. So
yeah,
you know what I mean, and that's gonna have a lot of money involved as well. So you're gonna kill all like the star quality as well. So
exactly.
That's like obviously, you know what I'm trying to say, but that's like causing a world war, but in sporting instead of like actual.
Yeah, it was a war, man.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't even be against Arsenal being penalised for this kind of thing. I'm not gonna lie to you, as an Arsenal fan, to say
you should be.
You should be penalised, bro. Well, you can't be doing them kind of things, because if fans didn't say anything, they would have done it, man.
Exactly.
What do you think should be like the action? Like, how should it be penalised?
Should hit them financially, probably.
But I don't trust them to ever fine people adequately, man. They hit them with the weakest fines, man.
Literally about
like
to say that.
£35,000, man.
Yeah,
that's the type of fine that I see coming, man.
Light.
Or 100,000. Like, they need millions, man. But then again, do I want the others? Do I want them to take money away from our club? I don't know. Because it's bad either way, isn't it?
Even if they do, man, it's still like a drop in a bucket for them. It's not, you know what I'm
course,
saying?
Yeah.
It's got to be like the treaty in it. Like, remember when Germany started the World War and there was like repercussions for Germany after? Like, I don't know. It's got to be something like that, because it's like there was talk of people saying on social media that they like these top 6 should go down to like League 2 or something, or like conference or something, like something mad, isn't it? I'm not saying that's what I don't know. What
no. I hear you, but I'm saying
go to the 5th tier of football division, man. In
those
England.
people are hilarious, man. They didn't fight that hard, to relegate all their teams that down, man. You know what I mean? Because they want that money. That's why they were crying so much, man.
Exactly. And
would you just deduct points for next season?
That's soft, bro.
Do you think so?
Start off at like minus.
I think deducting points is deep, man. I can't lie to you, bro. You deduct imagine you deduct like 15 points of every team.
Yeah, you just start off the season minus 12. Like
15 points off of City is peak, bro.
That is,
yeah.
You know, that would make the season very interesting, actually.
That is a good thing, because that will hit them financially as well.
Bro, I don't want to see Arsenal 15 points down already. Oh my gosh, bro.
Relegation.
They deserve it as well, man. But I think we might get relegated if that happens, bro. No cap. Take away 15 points from the table now, from Arsenal, Well,
they should actually do that.
Yeah.
Hit all the big 6 teams with a minus 15 points, and they will battle out for relegation end of the season.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, they should actually do that.
You know, for me, the only problem with that is it's punishing the wrong people. It's punishing the coaches. It's punishing the players.
Yeah, the players.
that's the thing.
Yeah, that's
people at the top are not really going to feel it unless they get relegated or something like that. But if you look at Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, probably everyone, maybe even Arsenal and Tottenham as well. But if you look at those clubs, they're not going to get relegated. They will still make it to maybe top 4, maybe top 6. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the owners are not really going to feel it, and they're the ones who made the mistake, or not
Exactly.
made the bad decision.
How are you going to punish punish the owners though? Because come on, man, they're Teflon, man. They can't be touched.
I don't know, how do you punish the owners, man? It's crazy.
It is.
Because they're not going to. They're going to punish the clubs.
Yeah.
Because it's just like we said, this didn't just happen overnight. They just took of it. But do you remember in last year we was at uni and they took of it and we were talking about it and then it just died off. And then I don't know. Then continue as normal. COVID's happening. But do you think they brought this up because of COVID? This Super League thing. Do you think it's like they kind of did it like the right time?
I think they said they was going to do this in 2021 anyway.
Yeah.
From when?
I think COVID accelerated it, but I think they had, because I think in 2018 they said this format should be ready for 2021.
Yeah. There was a leak that came through on Twitter a couple of days ago, and that was showing like all these clubs and their names there and ready to sign it. And the idea was that it was gonna start for the 2021-22 season. So that But
this Super League though, to me it's boring though. It's not great.
Yeah.
It's not like this is a great concept being poorly executed. No, it's a shit concept being poorly executed. Like I don't want to see United and Barcelona every week, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, that's boring to me. The reason why it's so special because it happens once in a blue moon. When Scholes hit that smack that goal against Barca in 08, 07?
Yeah.
07, 08 season, isn't it? When he long range shot, that is a legendary goal. Do you know why? Because you don't smack against Barcelona week in, week out.
Facts.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what? Maybe the thing has to be a financial thing. So obviously, like you divide all the money that the 6 clubs are getting penalized with the rest of the league, in it, or something like that, and then give them some money in it. Because that means it's still going to be the owners that feed it anyway.
Yeah.
Rather than just like the players or just the coaches, because it's not really their fault. They're no saying it, as we know.
No, I like that idea. To be fair.
Yeah.
See, what I was going to say earlier is, the idea about relegating them to 5th division or whatever. Just imagine they do, whilst these lot were previously threatening to leave the league anyway. That would be the final straw. They'll be like, all right, cool, safe. We know what to do now.
Definitely.
Going up, and in fact, no, Perez and Agnelli will call them, but so do you want to reconsider your decision now?
100.
Actually, think that
100. If they were in the 5th division.
Well, I'm just putting it out. I don't know. It was 4th, 5th, maybe 3rd. I don't know. It's just rough.
No, definitely. But I'm saying if they were definitely in the 5th division, that's happening.
I mean, to be honest with you, I think even if you would put them in the 2nd division,
put them in. I think Championship, they'll be gone, man. Definitely. That's what's crazy because you tried to punish them. You punish them too much, they're gonna leave anyway.
Exactly.
Then what are you gonna do?
You have to appease them.
Exactly. But low-key, looking at the Champions League, it's going to appease them slightly anyway, I guess. The way that they're doing the new thing, innit? So
that's going to be like more than Europa League, because Europe is like 32 in the last, after the group stage, like the last 32, isn't it? So if it's like 36 for the new form, that's going to be even more than the Europa League, isn't it?
I haven't heard anything about a change to Europa League. I wonder whether they're going to do that as well. They need to rebrand it, to be honest with you, man.
They do, because you got some quality. You got like Arsenal in there at the moment. Like that can be a competitive league as well.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, Europa League's a joke. Remember, I remember United was in Europa League in like 2012, man, on Channel 5, man. In school, he was in United fan, like 2012, when he was in school, he was getting mocked, man. He was on Channel.
You in it, but I don't know, man. Europa League can be a joke even now sometimes.
But I think
it kind of is, to be honest.
Europa League's becoming more acceptable these days to be in it now.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. But it's like, I think maybe the winner is the reason why people think it's a joke, because they always drop out of the Champions League and win anyway. I don't know how many winners that have won that have dropped out of the Champions League, but it's been a long list, to be fair, because Sevilla dropped out of it and then won the treble. They won it 3 times in a row, and after dropping out of it. And then Chelsea won it. United, I think they dropped out of the Champions League that year. I can't remember. What did they get? But Champions League quality teams go and win it anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But then that's another thing I'm gonna touch on, because there's talk of being like a third tier Europe competition as well.
Yeah.
And obviously that's another thing. And whose decision was that? Was that a UEFA thing?
Yeah.
You see, you know what I mean? More money. That's what I'm trying to say. More money, bro. Because where's this thing now coming from?
I haven't heard about this. What was this?
Oh, you didn't know? Oh, it was it. I think, Judah, you think you might know more than I do about how this. You could talk to me about this.
Yeah, I don't really know how teams qualify, but there's like it's a conference league, so obviously it's gonna be Champions League, Europa League, Conference League. Conference League is gonna be played on like Thursday nights, and I think the idea is to give teams in like more obscure countries the chance to play European football. And then in the bigger leagues, so like the English league or whatever, I think maybe the team becomes 6th or 7th would play Conference League, and then there's like a lot of playoff rounds. It still hasn't been made clear, I think, but
yeah. It's in the works though.
Yeah, but the idea is literally to start next season.
These guys, man, I'm telling you, they're trying to just put all 20 teams in every league, just
you know what I mean?
Put them in Europe. Just put them in Europe. Oh, I don't know. I personally don't want to see another European competition. The more you add competition, it's just going to devalue everything. Do you know what I mean? Like how we look at like trophies and stuff. Yeah, some people look at the FA Cup as more valuable than Europa League, generally, because it's history and tradition and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Holds more weight in it.
Yeah, it shouldn't though, because it's a European trophy, but a lot of people look at it like that.
Yeah.
And you add another European competition. So a team like, I don't know, in the league, Burnley go and win that Europe competition, yeah. Then they're gonna be like, oh, we've won the European Cup before Arsenal, for example. Then you're gonna be looking at that trophy, like, what is that trophy?
What my concern with that was is because obviously I was saying, so if Europa League's played on the Thursday and the Champions League played on the Tuesday and Wednesday, what days would this new third / equivalent of like a League One in England thing? What days would it actually play?
Thursday as well.
Thursday as well.
So they have the Conference League and the Europa League the same days.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's weird.
They're gonna make us pay a lot of money for watching this.
Imagine more competitions, more money from fans, because more fans are gonna go and watch their team, bro. It's a money making machine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, definitely, man.
Jesus Christ, man. Modern football, eh?
Football's changing, man. Honestly, they just need to leave it, man. Honestly, you got the Super League anyway in the Champions League. That is.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just everything they do is just like even something as small as kickoff times. They changed the kickoff times around, and fans in like Germany, for example, boycotted Monday night games for years because it's like, well, you're making us travel halfway across the country on the Monday night, and we have to go to work the next day. But obviously, they're not thinking about the fans. They're thinking about extra slots to put matches on TV so they get more money. You know? Yeah.
Where's all this money going to anyway, though?
UEFA, man.
Well, these people don't pay taxes, like. These people don't
pay taxes.
Nah, man. You know how much money they're making? They're not paying taxes, bro. I'm telling you.
That's UEFA, man. As I said, somehow they're managing to hide behind all of this, man. But they're criminals as well, man.
Just as bad.
They're just as bad, man. They really are.
And FIFA?
Oh, definitely, man. Like, there's always corruption for a reason, isn't it?
Because that Blatter still in jail or something like that?
That was a while ago now, innit? But I promise you that it's not that much different. It's just that it's not being out there.
Yeah, bro. That's how you know. If you're putting World Cups in Qatar as well, right? That's how you know it's not, because obviously fans go and watch the World Cup, bro. Like anyone, even if you're not even a club fan, you get people that don't watch football that go there. So you're putting it in a place like Qatar as well, man. Do you know what I mean? So that's how you know before the Super League thing was coming about, like, you know, it was.
Yeah, it's true.
Like
Qatar is definitely evident with that. What do you man think of Qatar? Just as a World Cup destination?
Joke thing. Absolute joke. And the winter, it's gonna be in the winter, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's because it's gonna be too hot in the summer, basically.
That's gonna disrupt the season, isn't it? So
that's why we're having this conversation though, because it's like that's what I was thinking during the winter. So then when are clubs gonna how's club football gonna work then if we've got the international World Cup during winter?
The plan is to start at the same time. So like August start, I think maybe a bit earlier, and then you stop at like I think early December, and then everything, or it might be mid-November, something like that. Then everything like pauses for about a month or a bit more, and then like the Qatar World Cup is supposed to finish on I think December 22nd, and then the Premier League is supposed to start again on December 26th.
What?
Bro, they are making football so congested.
Yes.
How can we consume this much content? Like, are they crazy?
Right,
seriously, man.
You know what else I think about? I think about the players. You're expecting a player to finish playing a World Cup on the 22nd and then come back and play his usual league football 4 days later.
Nah, this actually insane, man.
Honestly, there won't be any hamstrings left.
Literally, there's barely been any hamstrings this season.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? And they're gonna have to go to Qatar and just come back like that. 4 days. Wow, that's crazy.
Honestly.
And also, that's another thing. I think the quality of club football will be severely bad as well after that, because like, how are you just gonna mentally switch off from being in like a world international stage? Also, domestic. Bro, that doesn't work like that, man.
Definitely.
I don't even make any sense.
But yeah, it's gonna be what you're going from one-off games every 3 days to back in the league, man. This is not gonna work. Like you said, the quality of the back end of that season is gonna be terrible, man.
Yeah.
The lower teams will probably gain the most points.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Cool. Yeah, that makes sense. Of course, they're going to choose the best players for the country. That's going to normally at the top teams.
Yeah, true. So they're going to be resting bare players, man.
But then in England, England will have players from bare different clubs, even from like the lower teams. Like you got Jack Grealish at Villa will probably get called up. It's only in the other countries where Spain, the squad's made up of Barca, Real Madrid, and maybe get a few players from Atletico, maybe 1 or 2 from like Valencia or something like that. And Italy, like a Juventus, you know what I mean? But England's got bare different club players in there, innit? So England.
Do you think Southgate will be still managing England by that time?
Hopefully not, but he will be probably.
It depends how the Euros goes, maybe. As long as he doesn't like crash and burn at the Euros. If he was like going at group stage or something, then he probably would.
Okay. But you think if he gets past group stage, his job is secure?
Yeah, I think so. Unless he doesn't want to anymore, then
I don't know. Southgate is like the perfect manager for them. Like he's English, he's played football. Do you know what I mean? Like before they were dealing with these foreigners, and you know how English people feel about foreigners. So when it comes to English manager, they're like they love it, innit? I think about how gassed they were after, you know, the World Cup run we had. Like we were singing his praises so much.
Yeah, everyone thought this guy was a good manager because he was in the semi-final. Now we all call him a fraud.
The most flukiest.
We had that was the best run I've ever seen, man. The most fortunate run I've ever seen in a World Cup, to be honest with you. The teams that they had to play.
Really and truly, we should have played France in the final.
You got to the semis, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How, honestly?
It's the teams that we faced before.
Kane scored about 6 penalties, man.
That's another thing. So if that Super League went ahead, man, that our international people will be fucked, bro, because there'll be no if you're all banned from international football, who's representing England, man?
That's what I was saying earlier, innit? I was saying they're gonna have to bring out like some next people. They're gonna I think the first playing in Scotland, bro. Call him up as well, man. We're gonna call up all of these average ballers, man, and England will just get worked, bro.
This is my problem. That's why it's like they obviously think about money first, but I don't feel like they thought about how where football has to be in sync, innit? There has to be a gap. Obviously, a rest period. There's got to be something where this competition is being played, and there's got to be a cup match on the side here once a fortnight. I don't.
Yeah, the cup matches as well. Don't know how they're gonna fit that in.
I don't feel like they obviously it's obviously greed, but where have they thought about how the football's gonna be played? Forget the quality, even like the fixtures. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Money first, and just worry about after. We just kind of like do something here and there. So again, that's what I'm saying. They're destroying mostly like the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people
It'd be
say
interesting
too much
to
football
see.
getting played.
Yeah, it'd be definitely interesting to see how they would have compiled the fixture list, because I can't think of how you're still going to add the Carabao Cup in there, the FA Cup, on top of the World Cup, and then you have the Champions League or the Super League, for example. Like, how do you fit all of that in one season?
Super League will have its own sponsors as well, you know.
Is it?
Well, I'm thinking something about the Super League will have its own branding or super.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean, marketing. That's got to be marketed properly, man. You know what I mean? It's got to really be its own like league to have their own sponsorships. That's where more cash is coming. Is coming in.
Yeah, definitely, man. The thing is, because they're not all like, they don't really care about football too much. They don't really think about it in that sense, man. They don't really care. I think like I wouldn't be surprised if they think about like abolishing like the cup competitions, and if they were gonna do something like that, because you know what I mean, the bigger clubs, I guess, unless you're City, sometimes Chelsea, Arsenal, whatever, like the cup competitions aren't that deep.
Yeah.
They'll read like Klopp, like he'll give the younger players a chance in that competition. In a semi-final, for example, he would do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't care about that competition. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're looking to get rid of that.
Yeah.
That's another thing. And also these, like we say, FA Cup, that means a lot. Well, it still means a lot to a lot of fans. It means a lot to me still, innit? I don't know how you lot feel in it, but
yeah,
it's like, do you know what I mean? So it's gonna be like the ethos. It's you know what I said. The ethos, the ethics, they're gone in it, man. So honestly,
long time, man.
They've been gone in it. So we've got to look to the future and just hope for the best. But also, I'm gonna wrap this up now, innit, man? This is But yeah, man. Like, thanks for coming on, innit, man.
Thanks for